a doll. She can't hear you, and she can't talk back. So quit pretending she's your daughter, because you're freaking everybody out.
Do you want to win any of these items on your screen? If so, be sure to watch the whole video, leave a like, and comment the hidden message. And with that being said, let's get right into the video.
From moments on stage that went wrong, to personal issues that made news everywhere, join me as I show you some of the most embarrassing Ariana Grande moments. 7. The fall during Ellen. 2018 was definitely one of the best years for Ariana Grande in terms of her music career. For despite a lot of personal issues she had, arguably one of her most famous songs ever come out late that year with Thank You Next. Not long after the song came out, she went on to The Ellen Show to perform it. Given what was going on at the time in her life, Grande was very emotional as she sang the song. Many noted that her emotions were all over her face, and that at times it had seemed like she had mere moments before breaking down in tears. What many remember about the performance, though, was that during her routine she stepped onto a chair to sing a section, and when she came down off it, her boot got stuck, causing her to trip and nearly fall to the ground. Grande was so stunned that she had to stop singing, and spoke regularly because of the shock. She played it off quickly though and got back in the groove with her dancers. Ironically enough, because of the slip-up, Ellen offered her a chance to redo the performance. But instead, Grande stated that she didn't mind the slip-up being visible because it made it more real. And that it did. Sometimes an embarrassing moment can show us a lot about a person's character. And for Grande, it meant that she was cool under pressure and was willing to roll with the punches when needed. 6. Technical difficulties. Most people don't appreciate what happens behind the scenes at a show, because while the singers and dancers are entertaining you in front of your eyes, your ears are listening not just to them, but the people who are running tech to make sure the singers can be heard. But sometimes, there are mic issues, and it's very noticeable. And it happens to a lot of singers across many genres, just to be clear. But in the context of this list, it happened to Ariana Grande and Nicki Minaj at Coachella 2019. This event did not seem to like her, as you'll see a bit later. The two were doing a duet when suddenly their earpieces went out. Why was this important? These particular earpieces were meant to filter out the sound of the open area so that they could hear the band and their own voices, to know that they were on time and on key. So with them gone, they were literally singing without knowing cues and other sounds to keep them in check. True to their fame and skills, they did try to keep going. Minaj continued with the song while Grande tried to signal the people in charge that they couldn't hear anything. Yet, when it was clear it wasn't going to work, she tried to help out Minaj with the vocals because she was seriously offbeat. The performance definitely suffered, and if you watch this one in repeat, you'll see where it went off the rails. Sure, it's not Grande or Minaj's fault, but they tried a bit too hard to keep going when it might have been better to just stop and start over once things were, you know, working. 5. The Lemon. This is an event I still can't believe happened, and yet it did. And I'm kind of wondering how something like this has never happened before to my knowledge. Anyway, on with the show. At Coachella 2019, Grande was coming out on stage when someone out of nowhere threw a lemon at her, and actually hits her in the chest.
Did someone seriously throw a lemon at Ariana Grande?
Now, to her credit, Grande kept doing her thing on stage, so clearly it didn't hit her too hard. However, it did affect her singing temporarily, and when the crowd noticed, she straight up told them that one of the people in the crowd threw a lemon at her. After this was made known, the crowd turned in support of Grande, and when the news of this reached backstage, many other people, including fellow singers like Billie Eilish, sent out messages of support, while also condemning the person who threw it. Eventually, Grande laughed off the whole affair, but this is most definitely something that isn't tolerated. The singers should be respected on and off stage. Also, why throw a lemon? Was it symbolic? And what made them think this was a good idea? Could it have been a hater? Or some rabid fan? The world may never know. The weirdest thing that came from all this was that a conspiracy theory was born that the fan who threw the lemon did it in the name of Beyonce, who was also at the show. When this reached her ears, Beyonce denounced what happened and said that she supported Grande. Seriously though, who throws a lemon? 4. I'm on fire. Almost.
Bitch.
Pyrotechnics on stage is something that a lot of people do, and though it's dangerous, it's usually very contained. But accidents do happen, and when they do, someone can literally get burnt, which almost happened to Ariana Grande, ironically enough, during one performance. When did this happen? It was back in 2017 during her Dangerous Woman tour, and ironically, it was during the song Dangerous Woman. The performance had her wearing all black attire and also having fire come out of the stage. The opening bit featured Grande rising up from the floor, and she was to drag her mic stand along the floor to her next position. The problem, though, was that it got stuck in the stage, so she tried to pull it away, yet she couldn't. So she had to focus and pull it out of where it got stuck. Why did this matter? Simple, if she had left it there, or if she didn't get the mic stand out of the way in time. The fireworks for the event would have gone off on that exact spot, which meant she would have been lit on fire. The footage itself shows that she was seconds away from disaster, and while she kept her cool, pun intended, and kept singing, I bet she was breathing heavily when she went off stage. There are such things as too close for comfort, and this was indeed one of those cases. 3. My shoe! If you think about performers like Grande, Taylor Swift, Lady Gaga, Katy Perry, and more, you know that their outfits are very much a part of the show, which is fine, except that during one performance, Grande came out in a dress and outfit that wasn't fastened enough in regards to her shoes. For when she came out and started to perform, she had a little too much pep in her step, and not only did she strut onto the stage, she literally kicked off her shoe into the crowd. Now, thankfully, the crowd was very generous and they gave her back the shoe, and she had to break character in order to thank the person who got her shoe back. But clearly, that wasn't something that Ariana Grande thought she was going to do that night. You almost have to wonder who was more shocked, Grande or the person who found themselves with her shoe. I'm just saying. 2. My knee. Singers and performers don't get enough credit for doing all their routines on stage. They have to do all sorts of stuff while singing and keeping their balance in order to not hurt themselves. And sometimes it just can't be helped. Like during Grande's honeymoon tour a few years back, she was performing her song Bang Bang on stage when she tripped on stage and smacked her knee. Thankfully, this was but a small thing and it didn't stop her from singing. In fact, she actually looked like she was going to burst out laughing because of the goof. Many attribute this to her somewhat inexperience at the time, while others note that her attire wasn't exactly the best to be doing certain things in on stage. You be the judge on whether this fall was deserved or not. 1. The many relationships of Ariana Grande. In all honesty, Ariana Grande is known for 3 things. Her time on Nickelodeon via Victorious and Sam and Cat.
Wow! Good to hear this. A bunch of nuns singing smack about me.
Her music career, and her love life. And in recent years, that last one has gotten her a lot of attention and embarrassment. Over the course of her career, she's had 4 big-name boyfriends. Mac Miller was the relationship that most fans know her for, as it was actually a long-lasting one compared to some of the others, going over 2 years.
No. She's got a boyfriend, but she's dope.
The two were clearly in love, and that's to be praised. But the problem here was, though, that they were there for each other during the worst moments of their lives, they were also the cause of some of the worst moments of their lives. Their relationship was dubbed both rushed and toxic. And while Ariana Grande defended Mac Miller for a long time, and for some parts of it for good reason, it didn't change the fact that things were bad, very bad, and they needed to change, and soon. So eventually, she broke off the relationship. An abusive relationship needs to be gotten out of as soon as possible. And though she didn't do that, she did eventually get out. And she defended herself when people criticized her for the decision. But that's when things got a little weird. You see, not long after her breakup with Mac Miller, she met a guy on Saturday Night Live named Pete Davidson. Their relationship started out just as being friends, but then they cemented their love with tattoos and more, and they did it in record time. Fans and critics were quick to comment about this, as they noted the similarities between the two relationships, even noting that it wasn't smart for Grande to rush into how she feels about these things. Grande again bit back, as did Davidson. In June of 2018, the two got engaged, which meant that they got engaged about a month after Grande had dumped Mac Miller and met Davidson. Then, however, September 7, 2018, Mac Miller passed away. The effect was large on Grande. Her thoughts on him passing were very emotional, and it likely jolted her back into reality in regards to how things work in regards to love. Then, on October 15th, Grande and Davidson called off their engagement and their relationship. It was after this that she made her song, Thank You, Next.
Thank you next. Thank you next. Thank you next.
Arguably her biggest song ever. In it, she sang about her exes and what they taught her, but also noted that she was fine being single, which is to be praised. Hopefully the lessons from her exes show her the way to true happiness and not rushed peace. So, what did you think, everyone? Did you know about all these embarrassing moments of Ariana Grande? Which ones did you think were the most embarrassing? Do you know other embarrassing moments from Grande that we should know about? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.
A simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We will be giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's really your choice. So be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple. Go for it.